Warning. 5 signs elderly people may be in their final year. Don't ignore. Barbara O'Neill. Anyone with a heart ought to be present. For when the heart ceases, so do we. Heart disease stands as the leading cause of death globally today. This is certainly something that warrants attention. When things aren't functioning properly, it's essential to question why that is the case. To put it differently, there is always an underlying cause. Every heart issue or disease arises from a specific cause. What is causing the high number of heart attack fatalities among people? Indeed, a sudden death is often one of the earliest indicators that an individual may be facing a serious issue. It lacks sufficient forewarning. However, many individuals today have become unaccustomed to tuning into their bodies. Listening to the body's signals is crucial. Picture this: you find yourself in the company of someone dear to your heart. A caregiver, a cherished elder, or a beloved companion. Throughout the past year, you've observed subtle details. Perhaps their appetite has diminished compared to before, or they appear more fatigued despite having a complete night's rest. It's possible they've grown more reserved, increasingly aloof, or at times appear bewildered in ways that take you by surprise. Initially, you may convince yourself that it's insignificant, merely a facet of aging, wouldn't you agree? Yet, beneath the surface, an unsettling sensation lingers. What if these subtle shifts hold a deeper significance? Let me explain something important. Aging is frequently perceived as a gradual and foreseeable journey. Yet, existence rarely adheres to a linear path. At times, the body communicates in subtle ways, offering soft, nearly unnoticed cues that indicate a change is occurring. These signals arrive without the accompaniment of flashing lights or blaring alarms. They possess a quiet presence, often slipping past unnoticed, and can be readily brushed aside. However, if we take a moment to listen, they may reveal something significant to us. In this video, we will delve into the potential appearance of those signals. Our intention is not to frighten or burden you. Our aim is to assist you in grasping the situation at hand, ensuring you are ready, both in practical terms and on an emotional level as well. When you understand what to seek, you can react with empathy, insight, and kindness. Maximize the moments you have remaining with those who are truly significant in your life. Let's pause for a moment, gather our thoughts, and plunge into the depths of this journey. For in the stillness, the softest murmurs often convey the deepest truths. Before we dive in, please share in the comments where you're tuning in from and what health topic you'd like us to explore in the next video. As a token of our appreciation for your presence today, we are excited to offer 100 complimentary copies of Barbara's best-selling book to our subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to click that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments about why you wish to win Barbara's best-selling book. Substantial weight reduction, the body's quiet signal. Weight loss is frequently a subtle yet significant indicator that an elderly individual might be approaching their final year of life. This isn't the type of weight loss that results from a trendy diet or an unexpected surge of exercise. Rather, it unfolds in a quiet, gradual manner, frequently slipping under the radar until it reaches a point of importance. A belt that unexpectedly requires adjustment, garments that drape more freely, or a previously robust appetite that starts to diminish. These are the subtle murmurs of transformation. Initially, one might overlook these changes as merely a consequence of getting older. But what if they hold deeper significance? What if they are the body's method of conveying something significant to us? Unintentional weight loss can often go unnoticed, particularly when it occurs gradually over an extended period. It may become apparent that your loved one is consuming smaller portions, foregoing meals, or displaying a diminished enthusiasm for food in general. Their garments may begin to seem loose, or their visage might take on a more gaunt appearance. At times, the transformation manifests in a more tangible form. They may appear more fragile, less stable in their movements, or more fatigued after completing basic activities. These subtle changes may seem trivial initially, yet as they accumulate, they reveal a more profound narrative. Noticing these nuances can assist you in identifying the signs sooner. In older adults, unintentional weight loss often involves more complexities than simply consuming fewer calories. It frequently indicates that the body is not operating as it used to. With the passage of time, our capacity to take in nutrients from our meals diminishes. Muscles start to lose their strength, and vital processes such as digestion and metabolism begin to decelerate. This goes beyond the ordinary process of growing older. This indicates that the body is prioritizing energy conservation and reallocating resources to essential functions. In certain instances, hidden health issues may play a role in weight reduction. Chronic conditions such as heart disease, kidney failure, or cancer can lead the body to deplete muscle and fat reserves for energy. Conditions such as depression or dementia may result in a diminished appetite, establishing a cycle in which the body lacks the necessary nourishment to maintain its strength. Numerous factors can contribute to an elderly individual experiencing unintentional weight loss. A frequent occurrence is a reduction in appetite. With the passage of time, the nuances of taste and aroma may diminish, leading to a less pleasurable experience with food. Simultaneously, the digestive system might find it challenging to efficiently process nutrients, resulting in diminished energy levels and potential muscle loss. Additional elements such as the effects of medication, issues with dental health, or challenges in swallowing may also contribute significantly. Feelings like grief, loneliness, or depression can diminish the appetite even more. The convergence of these factors can result in a powerful phenomenon that may cause considerable weight loss. For the individual going through it, shedding pounds can be profoundly disheartening and even humiliating. A person who once cherished their autonomy may find themselves feeling disheartened as they observe their vigor diminishing. They may pull back from social engagements, skip meals, or find themselves increasingly alone. Should you observe considerable weight loss in an elderly family member, the initial action is to seek advice from a healthcare professional. They can assist in uncovering any hidden issues and suggest suitable remedies. A deficiency in energy often stems from insufficient oxygen at the cellular level. When cells receive oxygen, they can produce up to 18 times more energy than those deprived of it. What factors can restrict the intake of oxygen into the body? Inhaling through the oral cavity. Breathing through the nose is essential, as it purifies, humidifies, and warms the air we take in. What other factors might play a role in this? Insufficient hydration. Dehydration causes cells to clump together, which can hinder the absorption of oxygen at the cellular level. Ensure that you stay properly hydrated. Ensure that you are inhaling and exhaling through your nose, taking low, slow, and deep breaths. This will enable a greater influx of oxygen into your system. Profound exhaustion and a sense of frailty. The transformation of energy. Fatigue is an experience we all encounter occasionally. A lengthy day, an unsettled night, or a hectic week can leave anyone feeling exhausted. But what occurs when the fatigue lingers on? When even the most basic actions, such as rising from bed or moving across the room, seem to require extraordinary effort. For numerous older adults, this profound, persistent exhaustion serves as a significant indicator that their body is transitioning into a different stage. It's more than simply feeling fatigued. It concerns a pivotal transformation in the way the body harnesses energy. Grasping this transition can enable us to offer the support and empathy they require. In older adults, extreme fatigue often manifests in ways that differ from the typical tiredness we might expect. It's more than simply requiring a rest after a tiring day. Rather, it's an intense fatigue that persists regardless of the amount of rest one manages to attain. Your loved one may be having difficulty keeping their eyes open throughout the day, despite having had a complete night's rest. They may steer clear of pursuits they previously found pleasure in, such as cooking, gardening, or engaging in conversation, as they just lack the energy to partake. At times, exhaustion washes over me in surges. One moment they may appear perfectly fine, and the next, they can feel utterly depleted. Here are the indicators to be mindful of. This type of exhaustion isn't merely a consequence of getting older. The body is clearly in a state of conserving its remaining energy. As the body's organ function begins to decline, it starts to focus on what is most vital. The heart's efficiency diminishes, circulation falters, and muscles no longer receive the oxygen they once thrived on. This renders even the slightest movements utterly draining. Changes in metabolism also have an impact. The body is crafted to generate and utilize energy, yet as it approaches its concluding stage, that energy is shifted elsewhere. Rather than promoting activity, the body leans towards safeguarding itself. This explains why an individual experiencing decline might begin to sleep more, require longer daytime naps, or struggle to remain awake for prolonged durations. It's not a lack of effort. It's the body's method of decelerating. For the individual enduring it, this type of exhaustion can be profoundly exasperating. A person who once cherished their autonomy may now experience a sense of defeat due to their struggle with even the most basic tasks. They may retreat from discussions, steer clear of social gatherings, or cease participating in activities they once enjoyed. Not due to a lack of concern, but rather because they just lack the energy. When you observe someone dear to you struggling with intense fatigue, the most helpful approach is to provide support gently and without any pressure. Promote relaxation when necessary, and prioritize establishing a serene, inviting atmosphere. Simple acts, such as assisting with everyday chores or just being present with them, can have a profound impact. Keep in mind, it's not about resolving the exhaustion. It revolves around offering solace and support. Heightened mental disarray or disengagement. The thoughts dissipate. With the passage of time, it's quite common to occasionally forget a name or misplace your keys. What occurs when lapses in memory become more common, or when an individual who was once alert and involved begins to appear detached and bewildered? For numerous older adults, alterations in cognitive abilities such as memory decline, disorientation, or emotional detachment stand out as some of the most apparent indicators that their body and mind are transitioning into a different stage. Initially, these changes may be slight, yet as time passes, they become increasingly difficult to overlook. Grasping the situation allows us to react with empathy and kindness instead of irritation or anxiety. Alzheimer's is something that no one wishes to experience. Alzheimer's is not a condition that progresses rapidly. Indeed, there are individuals who may perceive this as a possibility, especially when they begin to experience a sudden decline in their memory. They begin to accumulate a few items, yet the progress has been rather slow. It has evolved gradually over an extended period. The choices we make in our 20s will come to light in our 40s. The choices we make in our 40s will unfold in our 60s. The choices we make in our 60s will unfold in our 80s. Then a woman arrived to participate in our program. She arrived accompanied by her mother. She is 45 years old. Her mother was approximately 75 years old. Her mother was battling dementia. I recall entering the bedroom, and the mother was gazing right through me. She struggled to find a connection with her. She simply remained in place. Upon our investigation, we found that the woman had not consumed any water. It came to our attention that she had not had a bowel movement in 6 months. In older adults, cognitive changes frequently begin subtly. It's possible you'll observe your dear one reiterating their thoughts, having difficulty recalling well-known names, or finding it challenging to keep up with discussions. They may appear bewildered in familiar surroundings or find themselves losing track of time with increasing frequency. As time progresses, these alterations may become increasingly evident. They may retreat from social engagements, often remaining silent for extended durations or appearing detached from their surroundings. At times, their mood may change. They might exhibit increased irritability, heightened anxiety, or perhaps an unexpected sense of calm. These are the indicators to observe, not as issues to resolve, but as insights into the underlying dynamics at play. The brain, akin to any other organ, demands a consistent supply of oxygen and nutrients to operate effectively. As the body starts to decelerate, circulation diminishes, and the brain might not obtain the necessary resources it requires. This may result in a decrease in mental sharpness, making it more challenging to think clearly, recall information, or remain connected with one's surroundings. Another prevalent indication is emotional withdrawal. When the mind grapples with absorbing information, engaging with others can feel like an insurmountable challenge. Engaging in conversations can be exhausting, bustling surroundings often appear overwhelming, and even those we know well may start to blur in our memory. This isn't a decision, rather, it's the brain's method of conserving energy and shielding itself from excessive stimulation. In certain instances, factors such as dementia or depression may hasten these transformations. However, even in the absence of a precise diagnosis, cognitive decline frequently represents a natural aspect of the body's evolution during its concluding phases. Cognitive changes can feel profoundly disconcerting for those who are going through them. A person who once valued their keen intellect may experience frustration or embarrassment due to their current struggles with memory and communication. They may pull back from discussions, steer clear of social events, or isolate themselves, not out of indifference, but because it's simpler than the effort of trying to stay engaged. Whenever cell damage occurs, they shift their roles. As one microbiologist remarked to me, they are referred to as the garbage collectors, or alternatively, the cleanup team. The refuse collectors are removing the waste, or you might refer to it as the litter or the debris, and their title is microorganisms. Bacteria is precisely that, it embodies that function. As the surroundings evolve, so too do they transform. They have now taken on the role of exterminators. The exterminators' names include the yeast, the fungus, and another entity that requires a host, similar to the yeast and fungus, a virus. As the surroundings evolve, so do they. They now take on the role of the undertakers. What is the role of undertakers? They remove what is no longer alive. When you consider it, these microorganisms possess the remarkable ability to adapt and adjust. If bacteria are running rampant, we might refer to it as a urinary tract infection. It appears that an individual is experiencing a urinary tract infection. Due to the presence of bacteria in their urine, an antibiotic is prescribed. Indeed, that eliminates the bacteria. 3 weeks later, yet another urinary tract infection. Return to the doctor for another round of antibiotics. Jacqueline shared her stories with me, and I listened intently. She was not consuming sufficient water. This was many years ago. She was surviving on scraps. It feels like an endless cycle of one antibiotic after another for this urinary tract infection. Is that clear to you? Recurring infections and prolonged healing, the diminished protection. As the body starts to slow, one of the most evident physical indicators is a diminished immune system. It may be apparent that an individual who previously seldom fell ill now appears to be susceptible to every cold, flu, or minor infection circulating around. The once swift healing process has transformed into a prolonged ordeal, with even minor injuries, such as cuts or bruises, taking an unexpectedly long time to mend. These changes are intentional. These indicate a decline in the body's capacity for self-defense and repair. Grasping the situation allows us to react with empathy and kindness instead of irritation or anxiety. Frequent infections stand out as a clear indicator of a compromised immune system. Your cherished companion may experience a series of recurring ailments such as pneumonia, urinary tract infections, or skin infections. Even minor ailments, such as a cold or a small cut, seem to linger longer than they used to. One may observe that their skin appears increasingly delicate, with bruises or sores that linger without healing. In certain instances, infections may not display clear signs such as fever or discomfort. Rather, your loved one may appear increasingly fatigued, disoriented, or distant, indicating the quiet signals that their body is battling to regain strength. As we age, the immune system, much like every other aspect of our body, experiences a decline in strength. As circulation diminishes and organ function wanes, the body's ability to combat infections and mend injuries becomes increasingly compromised. Long-term health issues such as diabetes or heart disease can weaken the immune system, making recovery from even slight ailments more challenging. Another aspect is the diminished capacity of the body to recover. Inadequate circulation results in oxygen and nutrients failing to reach the skin and tissues effectively, which hinders the healing process. Pressure sores, frequently resulting from restricted movement, can pose a significant issue, potentially leading to infections that are challenging to manage. If you observe recurring infections or delayed healing in someone dear to you, the initial action is to seek advice from a healthcare expert. They can assist in uncovering any hidden issues and suggest suitable remedies. During this period, prioritize prevention and comfort. Maintain clean and moisturized skin, promote hydration, and ensure a diet rich in nutrients to bolster the immune system. Feet must always be kept warm. Optimal health hinges on flawless circulation, and flawless circulation signifies that my hands and feet share the same warmth as the rest of my body. What occurs when someone has cold feet and chooses to leave them that way? After a few years, they begin to experience a loss of sensation at the tips of their toes. Are you aware that if this persists, those toes could eventually develop gangrene? And then perhaps even be eliminated. Let's ensure our feet stay cozy. It's essential to ensure that the feet remain warm. Significant alterations in respiration or blood flow, the ultimate shift. A significant indicator that the body is nearing its final phase is a distinct alteration in breathing patterns and circulation. Your loved one may exhibit a slower or more shallow breathing pattern than they did previously. Occasionally, there may be a momentary halt between breaths, or the rhythm of breathing could fluctuate, quickening and then decelerating in an unpredictable manner. These shifts may begin quietly, yet as time progresses, they grow increasingly evident. In addition to alterations in your breathing patterns, you may observe variations in circulation, such as chilly extremities or a bluish hue to the skin. These indicate that the body is preserving energy and focusing on its essential functions. Variations in respiration can manifest in numerous ways. Your cherished individual may exhibit a slower, shallower, or more irregular breathing pattern. Some individuals encounter a phenomenon known as Cheney-Stokes respiration, characterized by a rhythm of deep, rapid breaths interspersed with prolonged pauses. One may observe a sense of breathlessness, even during slight activities, such as sitting upright or engaging in conversation. Alterations in circulation represent another significant indicator. Chilly extremities, a pallid or bluish complexion, and a splotchy look often signal that the heart strength has diminished over time. Such transformations frequently bring with them an overarching feeling of weariness or exhaustion. As the body enters its concluding stage, it starts to conserve energy and channel resources towards the most vital functions. The heart's efficiency declines, circulation falters, and the lungs may find it challenging to absorb sufficient oxygen. This explains the alterations in breathing patterns and the common sensation of coldness in the extremities, such as the hands and feet. Fluid accumulation in the lungs can create challenges in breathing, resulting in a continuous cough or gurgling noises. These changes may not be outright painful, yet they can certainly bring about a sense of discomfort. The body is gradually decelerating, favoring ease and conservation rather than vigorous activity. When you observe these shifts in someone dear to you, the most crucial action you can take is to offer solace. Maintain a cool and well-ventilated space, and think about incorporating a humidifier to facilitate easier breathing. Provide gentle sips of water to maintain hydration and arrange their position for optimal breathing, perhaps by supporting them with pillows or settling them in a recliner. Ready with empathy and precision. As we reach the conclusion of our conversation, I invite you to pause and consider the insights we've uncovered. Notable reduction in body weight, profound tiredness, deterioration in mental function, recurrent infections, and substantial alterations in respiratory and circulatory patterns. In the year preceding an elderly individual's passing, one may observe these 5 notable signs. They might not occur simultaneously, and their presence may not be immediately clear, but as you begin to recognize them, it indicates that the body is gearing up for its ultimate transformation. Grasping these signals isn't rooted in a fear of mortality, rather, it's about equipping oneself for it, emotionally, practically, and with empathy. For numerous households, these adjustments can be challenging to embrace. It's instinctive to want to challenge them, to motivate a cherished individual to consume more, be more active, or persevere through fatigue. Yet, at times, the most valuable action we can take is to attune ourselves to the signals their body conveys. Rather than attempting to alter the course of what is to come, we should concentrate on ensuring that their remaining moments are filled with peace, comfort, and significance. Identifying these indicators promptly allows you to offer enhanced support, make crucial choices in advance, and guarantee that your cherished one's remaining time is enriched with affection and respect. Should you observe these indicators in a person dear to you, pause for a moment and remind yourself that you are not solitary in this experience. Numerous families have traversed this journey, and although it is always challenging, having an understanding of what lies ahead can empower you to discover resilience, endurance, and tranquility. We appreciate your presence with us today. If you found this video useful, kindly give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support enables us to keep producing content that informs and inspires you. Thank you for tuning in. As ever, keep yourself informed and prioritize your health.